It all began in 1560 when Mary Arden, the daughter of a rich farming family, married John Shakespeare, who at the time was doing well in business, making and selling leather gloves, purses, belts, aprons and fleeces. 3 years later, William was born, one of 8 children. Shakespeare is considered widely the greatest dramatist. William Shakespeare was born on the 23rd of April 1564 in this house in Stratford-upon-Avon. Shakespeare's family was obviously very well off because he was born in a 2-storey house. This is the cot that Shakespeare slept in as a baby. From the age of 5, Shakespeare shared this bedchamber with his brothers Richard and Gilbert. In Shakespeare's times, beds were so precious that Shakespeare, in his will, he left his second best bed to his wife Anne Hathaway. The fire was the heart of the home in Tudor times. Everything was cooked via the fire. In 1570, Shakespeare's father was found guilty of usury. After this time, he turned to glove making for a living.
Basically, that's how.
This is a traditional kitchen as found in Tudor times. In Tudor times, ale was more safer than drinking water because it was polluted, and also Shakespeare's father was acting as an ale taster for Stratford. In 1582, Shakespeare, at the age of 18, married Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway was 26 years old when she married Shakespeare. At the time, she was also 3 months pregnant with their first child. William Shakespeare and Anne Hathaway had 3 children, Susanna Shakespeare and twins Hamlet and Judith Shakespeare. In 1597, Shakespeare returns from London to Stratford and buys a new family home. The new house was destroyed over 250 years ago. That is because its new owner was getting sick of Shakespeare's tourists. Shakespeare paid £120 for this new house. It was one of the biggest houses in Stratford. This is Hall's Croft, the marrying house of Shakespeare's daughter, Susanna Shakespeare. Susanna Shakespeare married Dr. John Hall. They had one child called Elizabeth. Hall's Croft was a very lavish house for Tudor times. After William Shakespeare's death in 1616, Susanna and her family moved to a new place. Shakespeare created many words that we still use today, such as bandit, critic, dauntless, dwindle, elbow, green-eyed, to describe jealousy, lackluster, and lonely. Shakespeare was born and died on the same day, 52 years apart. He is buried here in the Holy Trinity Church at Stratford-upon-Avon. The Holy Trinity Church is a very special place for William Shakespeare. He was baptised here, married here, and buried here today. William, his wife Anne, Susanna, and Susanna's husband are all buried inside the Holy Trinity. It would have been believed that Hamlet, who had caught the plague, would have had to been put in the plague pit. Judith and her husband had had to be buried in the graveyard because William Shakespeare had disinherited them. Now our tour is over. I hope you enjoyed our brief overview of Shakespeare's life.